Good morning. Welcome to First Local for Friday, October 23rd. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you to KC Security for your sponsorship. I'm Chris Olcorn, and I'm here with
Daniel LaPratt. Good morning to everybody out there.
Yeah, a little bit of
Hope you
a wet
love the
morning.
rain.
Yeah, wet morning. It's going to be wet for who knows how long. Basically 7 days.
I've given up on the forecast. You'll notice.
I don't understand why you even bothered doing the forecast.
You'll notice I normally have more sheets here.
Yeah.
I just have 2 sheets this morning because I don't even need to print out the icons and stuff.
It's called rain.
Yeah.
So we are going to have plenty of rain this weekend, but we'll have more on that a little bit later in the show. We got a bunch of different things happening today that we want to get to. We have an exciting story about a young female hockey player from Garden River. She's going to the States to play hockey, NCAA hockey down in Minnesota. So we'll get to that and tell you a little bit more about her. Big Ten football is starting up again this weekend. Michigan State and Michigan both playing, plus the Lions are playing as well. And tonight will be Game 3 of the World Series. We'll get to all of that info later in the show for you. However, yesterday we did a poll during the show, and we asked the following question.
Yes.
This is the this was the question of the day. Should your tax dollars be spent on buying property or fixing roads? Now, during the show yesterday, we ran that poll live and then gave you the results at the end. The end of that poll was 100% of people voted to fix the roads and no one voted for buying property. We then ran it on our Instagram story yesterday and closed the poll this morning. And the results on that was 91% of people voted to fix the roads and 9% said the city should be buying property. So overwhelmingly, between the two polls, people think that the government locally here in Sault Ste. Marie should be fixing the roads, and we did have someone did send in a private comment also said about maybe we should put some of that money towards affordable housing. So there's plenty of other things we can be putting this money towards other than buying property and making it a dirt patch.
Especially empty property.
Especially empty
one thing
property.
If it was purchased for housing
for a reason. Like maybe if they were purchasing this to put in social housing, that would have been a good reason to buy the property. But to buy a piece of property and let it just sit there, not so much. Okay, today we're going to be live twice. Justin Trudeau has a press conference at 11:30, so make sure you come back here to First Local for that. That's 11:30 this morning. Premier Ford will be on today from Picton, Ontario, and that will be at 1 o'clock, so make sure you come back at 1 for that. Today, Ford in Picton will be joined with Christine Elliott, who's Deputy Premier and Minister of Health, as well as Todd Smith, who's the Minister of Children, Community and Social Services. So make sure you come back at 1 o'clock for that. Perfect. Okay, top story late yesterday afternoon. The 41st case of COVID-19 was announced by Algoma Public Health. We don't have a lot of information on this for you, other than they don't know how the person was exposed. They're presently self-isolating, and they were tested on the 18th. Now, there has been cases in the Algoma region in the last 14 days only in Sault Ste. Marie area. Algoma Public Health has split Algoma up into 4 sections. And in the last 14 days, only Sault Ste. Marie and area have had a case of COVID-19, which is obviously, this is evidence of unknown exposure being spread through Sault Ste. Marie and area. They are advising you, if you feel ill, even with mild symptoms, please stay home and self-isolate away from others. And they're asking you not to have contact with anyone outside your immediate household, the people that you live with, and limit travel in and out of where you live, whether it's, if you live in the Soo, don't leave the Soo. You live out in, Blind River, don't leave Blind River. That's basically what they're requesting.
If you're all right. Stay home.
Other side of the border for COVID now.
Yes, let's go over to Chippewa. So the number of new cases there has also climbed to 121 as the Chippewa County Health Department is reporting 4 new cases. There are no new recoveries and no deaths. Out of the 121 cases, 80 have recovered, leaving 41 active cases of the coronavirus in Chippewa County. The health department, of course, reminds everyone to practice social distancing, wash your hands frequently, and wear masks in public, the same thing that you would do over here. So,
yes.
There you go.
Okay, moving along. Yesterday, well, this is connected to COVID-19 as well, but yesterday Terry Sheehan had an announcement. We've talked about this before. It's the Emergency Community Support Fund. It's a $350 million fund that the federal government set up. Basically, it's to help charities and organizations, specifically helping them to deal with COVID-19, because obviously charitable donations are down, as well as certain charities actually are being used more now because of COVID-19. For example, more people are using the food bank.
That's true.
So this is money that was given to the United Way here locally to spread out over several charities. And it was basically a little over $300,000, and it's being split between the Kidney Foundation, Habitat for Humanity, Welcome Friend, Arch Hospice, which we've been mentioning Arch Hospice, and they have a 50-50 draw that we've been promoting on our website and on the show here. Algoma Family Services, the Salvation Army, the Canadian Mental Health Association. There's been a couple announcements over mental health over the last few weeks as well. They're putting a lot more in, particularly helping kids in school and things like that deal with mental health issues. And then also the Soup Kitchen and the Victorian Order of Nurses for Algoma. So those are the organizations who received the funding, and they are splitting up in total $305,000 across those organizations.
Okay, yes. Now we're moving on here to police are investigating a fatal collision on October 21st, 2020 at 2:51 a.m. Officers responded to a single vehicle collision in the 1100 block of Gooley Avenue. It was reported a vehicle left the roadway striking a culvert. The lone occupant of the vehicle, a 20-year-old man, was transported to hospital with life-threatening injuries and later died as a result of his injuries. The investigation is ongoing. I'm aware of who the individual is. I know the individual, or know of the individual, but they just haven't released the name yet, so that will come in due time.
Yeah, that will come from Lincoln or at the Sioux Police. Okay, moving along. Yesterday, we saw a bit of a jump in COVID-19 cases here in Ontario. Went up to 841 cases, as well as 9 new deaths. We're still luckily below where the modeling said that we would be. They said to be over 1,000 cases. We've been able to keep it below 900, other than for one day.
Right.
Now, most of these cases, obviously, almost half, 335, were in Toronto, 162 in Peel, which is Mississauga, Brampton, 106 in York region, which is right north of Toronto, and then 72 in Ottawa. They finally bumped the amount of tests they're doing daily back up again. It was down to like 24, 25 for a couple days, but now it's back up to almost 39,000 tests they did yesterday. There's about 270 people in the hospital across the province, with 74 in intensive care, and we have 48 people on ventilators across the province. Now, this means we've now reached over 67,000 cases in the province, 67,527 to be exact. We are getting closer to 3,100 deaths, and we have about 58,000 of the 67.5 thousand cases have been resolved.
Okay,
so
there's your updated numbers. Continuing on with police news. Man has been charged with possession of property obtained by crime. Also on October 21st, 2020, officers with Investigation Services and Patrol Services arrested 37-year-old Brandon Bennett for possession of property obtained by crime. As a result of an investigation into a break-and-enter in the 0 to 100 block of Lorna Drive, officers executed a search warrant at a different residence in the same block on October 21st at 12:01 p.m. A search of the residence, 12:01, right to the exact minute.
Wow.
A search of the residence found the accused to be in possession of the multiple items reported stolen from the break-and-enter, including video games and food items. He was later arrested and charged with possession of property obtained by crime, and he will be scheduled to appear in court November 30th, 2020. Yeah, 12:01.
Yeah, that's pretty precise. They could have said around midnight or something. Yeah. Seems a little... Okay. I guess they want to be very specific. 12:01. Yep. Alrighty, moving along. The Ontario government has introduced a bill. It's called Bill 218. It was introduced by the Ontario Attorney General, Doug Downey. This is a bill that's going to make it harder for people to sue businesses if they got COVID-19 there. Mm-hmm. So, for example, let's say you went to a restaurant. You sat down, you had dinner, someone had COVID-19 in the restaurant, and you caught it from that other person in the restaurant.
Right.
Now, presently, case law states that you can actually sue the restaurant for damaging your health, basically.
Right.
This bill is going to stop those lawsuits, because there are lawsuits going on about this right now already. People have already started these. This bill is to stop those types of lawsuits going forward, and also in the present way that the bill is written, it will wipe out the previous lawsuits that are currently going through the system. None of them actually finished, because obviously our legal system doesn't do things that fast. But yeah, so this is the purpose of this bill is basically to stop people from being able to sue a business because they caught COVID-19 to them. Right. Which in all fairness, that makes sense. That's not something the business owner has control over.
No, exactly. I agree with that.
But there will be exceptions. So let's say there's a business owner let's say it's a restaurant and they don't social distance,
if
and
they're
you
not
can just
following,
sit and they're not following the
safe.
rules,
Yeah.
then you can actually sue them. So there are still exemptions in that if they are actually not following public health protocols.
Right,
So,
if the business isn't taking measures.
exactly. So bad businesses will still be punished the way they should be, but ones who are doing everything they can to not spread COVID-19 will not be punished legally.
Right.
So.
Okay, so, well, we're going to look at our camera here momentarily, and, well, if you didn't know, it was raining, and there's a rainfall warning. It's going to continue today.
Yeah, if you're in your survival bunker
it's still
400
in
feet
effect.
below the ground, everybody else knows it's raining.
Oh boy, so heavy rainfall did affect the area during the night, particularly east of Sault Ste. Marie, where reports of over 50 millimeters were received. While the rain today should not be as heavy as tonight, during the night, an additional 10 to 15 millimeters is possible before it tapers off, and the temperature is going to drop drastically, but I'll have that coming up. So let's look at the camera, which is brought to you by wirelesscom.ca, and yeah, it's pretty gloomy out there. Almost looks like it's snowing just by the way the camera is, but it's we're seeing the rain continuing right now. It's just showers, like pockets of showers on and off, and I'll have your details, 3-day weather and regional temperatures all coming up after the break. Thank you again to wirelesscom.ca for sponsoring the camera. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay tuned.
You know what? You got spunk.
Well,
I hate spunk.
This past year, we've been celebrating our 65th anniversary, dating back to services originating in our community in 1954, which is quite some time ago. It's been a great opportunity this past year to recognize the pioneers, the stakeholders that worked tirelessly to create what we are today. I'm grateful for everything that the families 65 years ago and the people that assembled the organization have done in order for us to achieve the success that we're experiencing 65 years later.
At Fit Bodies, Fit Minds, we want everyone to build a life that they love, and we teach you how to get the results you want in your mind and your body. Introducing our new small group classes to provide you with a happy and healthier life. Our small group classes are limited to 6 people to provide more personal coaching while having the supportive group environment. Classes are 10 weeks, and each week you will receive fitness and nutritional guidance that are tailored to your needs. Fit Bodies, Fit Minds, we inspire you to move.
Good morning and welcome back on your Friday morning, October the 23rd. Hope everybody is enjoying their morning. We'll thank our sponsors. Thank you, KC Security, for the show. Northern Lights Detailing for the weather, which is at 632 Great Northern Road. And wirelesscom.ca for the camera. Now let's say a couple good mornings here quickly. So good morning to Allie, Margaret, and Carolyn. So good morning, Mom. There's the mom shout out. And I think I'm missing somebody here. What happens is this goes into the likes. Some people like the show and they don't necessarily comment. Juliana, there we go. And Karen. So good morning to you both as well. And thank you everybody for tuning in. Chris is on there right now interacting with you as well. So make sure you do have a Facebook shout out or a wedding or an anniversary. Do leave it in there for us and we'll get to it. Wow, look at the radar. Looks like a big freaking snowstorm going through here. Okay, so what we do have is we do have this as cloud cover here, and there's a bit of snow precipitation mixed in with rain. What we are going to see is this is going to continue throughout the day. As I mentioned, the rainfall warning is in effect, 10 to 15 millimeters, and then this is going to move through. It's going to cool down very quickly, and then we will see maybe a chance for some snow as we get into later evening. I'll have those temperatures coming up for you here momentarily. But yeah, looking on the screen there, it's a pretty ominous looking system that's moving its way through, and we've been getting hammered all week with systems. So let's look at our expected highs. 4 degrees in Thunder Bay, 2 in Wawa, 1 in Timmins, 6 in Sault Ste. Marie, 4 in Elliott Lake, and 6 in Sudbury. Then our expected lows, yes, they're chilly tonight, and nobody is going to be above 0. So we're going to look at -5 in Thunder Bay, -6 in Wawa, -7 in Timmins, -1 here in Sault Ste. Marie. So we are a little bit warmer than everybody else. -4 in Elliott Lake, and -2 in Sudbury. Currently, we are sitting at 5 out there. Some lingering showers this morning that will be continuing. We're going to get up to 6 degrees today. There's going to be periods of rain. Winds will be northeast 20, gusting to 40. And then as we get into the overnight, the rain and snow will be ending early in the evening. They'll become partly cloudy. Winds are going to pick up some more then, 30 kilometers gusting to 50 until they slow down just a little bit after midnight, but you're going to have a wind chill of -7 overnight, and your overnight low is going to be -1. So not too warm today. Getting into your 3-day, we're getting a break from the rain. Now this has changed, so this will be good news for some people who want to maybe try to get out this weekend. So if all goes well, we're going to see overcast on Saturday with a 6-degree high and a 40% chance of a flurry in the afternoon, and winds will be 15 kilometers. So not too bad. Wind chill is going to be -7 in the morning, so it will be cool. So if you are going out, make sure that you bundle up. Overnight, you're just looking at cloudy periods, 1 degree on Saturday. Moving into Sunday, we're looking at mix of sun and clouds on Sunday, and we have a 60% chance of a rain flurry, or rain shower rather, or a flurry moving in as we get into the nighttime. And then that will change to rain with a low of 2 degrees on Sunday night, because as you can see on Monday, we're moving back to rain. So you got a high of 5 degrees on Monday, looking at a 60% chance of rain or snow showers in the morning, and then rain continuing. Then we're going to drop down to 0 after that on Monday night, before things change once again. For next week, I'm going to have the 7-day coming up. There's a lot more rain in it, so I'm going to make it very simple for you and get you ready for that. And then we have the Weather Watcher photo coming up too, which is a nice rainbow to see. So that'll be coming up later on in the show. Thank Marty from Northern Lights Detailing once again for sponsoring the weather. Go see them over there. Mention that you saw their sponsorship or their ad on SiouxOnline.com or on TV, and you'll get 10% off any service. So make sure you go check them out. Chris and I are going to be back right after this break with more news, so make sure you stay tuned.
The Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades including installation are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
welcome back to First Local. For those of you who just saw the weather graphic, that's because our producer is not sure where we are in the show right now, which is a little concerning to Dan and I, because we have no idea what graphics are coming up next in sports. Who knows?
Yeah, when's sports going to
Yeah, what's going to be in sports? We're going to have, like, I don't know, Wizard of Oz play or something at the local high school or something. Okay, moving on. Speaking of local, thank you very much to KC Security for your title sponsor of the show. Thank you to Northern Lights Detailing, Marnie over at Great Northern Road, as well as WirelessCom, where you get to see those wonderful pictures of rain each morning right now for the next who knows how long. Okay, my show was on again last night. It's on every Thursday. Last night it was probably my most explosive show yet. I had an email on it that the mayor sent to a voter where he called the voter rude and uninformed. I encourage you to go watch it. It's on Facebook. You just look for the Chris Oldcorn Show in the video section and have a half-hour look at how the city is actually being run and what the journalists at Sioux Online are actually doing to try and make this a better place to live. So make sure you check that out. Alrighty, time for a little entertainment news.
Yes, so we got some news on Patrick Downey talking about losing Gord, hearing peace in posthumous album Away Is Mine. So Gord Downey's brother Patrick says he wonders what his older sibling might have said about these uncertain times, whether it is the devastating effects of climate change, isolation and the pandemic, or the stalled progress of reconciliation. The absence of late Canadian troubadour's voice is palpable for many fans. And Patrick says he feels a similar void at home, but he insists it's a fruitless exercise to suppose how 2020 would have been viewed by the tragically hip frontman. So instead, they have the Silver of Time captured on Away From Me, a collection of 10 recordings Downey made in the summer before he died from brain cancer in October 2017. Patrick Downey says that when he listens to the album, he hears the voice of someone coming to grips with their life, the certainty of death, and being at peace with it. So, yeah, already 3 years.
Wow. I remember when they announced it. Yeah. My dad was actually getting treatment at Sunnybrook Hospital as well for something in his brain as well. So my dad had a growth in his brain that had to be removed, and Gord Downey announcement, and my dad was all within the same year there.
Wow.
Okay, moving along. Maya Hendrick, she's a local hockey player here from Garden River First Nation. She is going to be going to school in the States on a hockey scholarship to a school down in Minnesota. She's only 15 years old. She's already been signed to go down there and play for them. She still obviously has, at least when she has this year and the next year left in high school, she's already got a scholarship.
Yes.
She's been playing since the age of 3, and what she wants people in the public to know is, my advice to kids in my community is to be the hardest worker on and off the ice and in the classroom. This will help you chase your dream. So congratulations, Maya, for chasing your dream and getting there. She also wants to play professional women's hockey after she does college.
Wow.
Yep, she has set her sights high.
Congratulations, Maya. Yeah. So, NFL quickly. Philadelphia Eagles 22-21 over the New York Giants. Giants are now 1-5 on the season, and the Eagles are 2-4-1.
Wow. Lions are playing again this weekend. Lions are 2-3 on the season. They will be playing the Atlanta Falcons, who are also 1-5 on the season, just like the Giants.
Right, and the World Series continues tonight between the Tampa Bay Rays and the LA Dodgers. Series is tied 1-1, so Game 3 goes tonight.
Yes, and for everybody on the Michigan side, Big Ten football is back. So, tomorrow you will see Rutgers taking on Michigan State, and number 18 ranked Michigan will be taking on 21st ranked Minnesota. So make sure you check in those games for the Big Ten. So we got Big Ten football back. So yay, we got more football happening on the weekend. More stuff to watch. Awesome.
More sports.
And we are going to be going to a commercial break, and we will be right back after this with your 7-day forecast.
What's life without making a few mistakes down the road, a few sharp turns, and doing things for what we adore but might regret later? A trip to Chuck's Roadhouse isn't one of them. With melt-in-your-mouth AAA steaks, buttery lobster tail, half-priced apps after 9 p.m., an ice-cold draft with all your Roadhouse favorites. Chuck's Roadhouse. Food the way it ought to be, priced the way it used to.
211, how can I help you?
Hi, I'm really worried about my sister. She doesn't leave her house much. She doesn't even come to our family things. I barely see her smile anymore.
Can you tell me a bit more about the situation?
I think her husband might be... I don't know. Whenever he's around, she's nervous, like she doesn't want to make a mistake.
Do you think that he might be hurting her?
I think so.
Okay, let's figure out how we can help your sister.
Good morning and welcome back on your Friday morning just after 8:26, and we're going to get right into the 7-day forecast. And a few people were mentioning yesterday, by the way, the skies looked spooky and they were orange yesterday. If you're wondering why in our region, it was because of smoke from a rapidly growing wildfire in Colorado that's been driven by mid-level winds into Ontario's Nickel Belt. So this was seen throughout Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, and a whole bunch of regions. So let's look at our 7-day forecast. And there's going to be, well, not necessarily orange skies, but we'll have some cloudy skies on Saturday before we see some rain back on Monday, 5 degrees. We'll see a mix of sun and cloud on Wednesday, and then we get into the sleet and snow by Thursday and Friday. Overnight lows are staying very low, and then we're going to get below zero on Thursday night with a low of -2 before we return back to the freezing mark. Thanks again to Northern Lights for sponsoring our weather. Let's look at our Weather Watcher photo, which is from, this is actually from our very own at KC Security, from Carl Worth. It is a picture of the rainbow, so thank you very much, Carl, for sending that to me. And if you want to send in your photos or videos, please send them to ontvweather@gmail.com. Include your name and location. They will go up on the show and on SiouxOnline.com.
Awesome.
There we go.
Okay, this weekend, Help for the Homeless. 2 local organizations, Saving Our Young Adults is partnering with Helping Hands Sault Ste. Marie to provide packages of winter gear to the homeless here in Sault Ste. Marie. Right now there's over 75 people who are registered as homeless that they will be giving stuff out to. If you have anything that you can donate, and it's pretty much like any winter gear you possibly have, even socks, boots, hats, coats, sleeping bags, even things like Mr. Noodles and hot chocolate, candies, toothbrushes, basically anything you would kind of need to survive at the most basic level. Also gloves, hairbrushes, things like that. You can donate today between 10 and 1:30 at Helping Hands Sault Ste. Marie. This info is on our website. You can find out where it is and so on. Or if you can't donate in that time period, just contact them and they will do their best to find a way to collect your donation. And they will be giving out these packets tomorrow between 10 and 2. So if you can donate before 10 a.m. tomorrow, they would greatly appreciate it, because then they have more stuff to be able to help the homeless in the city. And they're also doing this event to also highlight how many homeless people are actually in Sault Ste. Marie as well.
Yes.
So you can get all that info at SiouxOnline.com.
Yes, check it out. And we got some news on Tim Hortons again. This is the second article in 2 days.
I think they must have a new
They want to be
relations firm or
again.
something.
And I don't even have my Tim Hortons cup
nothing
today.
for months from them, and now it's like Tim.
And I should have my cup when I'm actually talking about them. But anyways, they've signed a deal with TerraClyde's Loop program to test an option that would allow customers to pay a deposit and receive their order in reusable, returnable cups and food packaging. Once the customer's done, you'll see this on your screen, they could return the cups and the other containers to a participating restaurant and have their deposit refunded. Tim Hortons says the cups and food containers would then be cleaned, sanitized, and used again. The test program is expected to start next year at select Toronto restaurants. So, and if it goes well, they expect over time that they will have this at more locations, and they had to, of course, pause this plan when COVID-19 hit.
I'm glad they mentioned that they were going to clean them. I was worried for a sec I was going to get a dirty used mug. Thanks for clarifying there, Tim Hortons. Okay, moving along. Opioid crisis has struck communities across Canada, the U.S., and elsewhere in the world. Purdue Pharma, who's the one who makes OxyContin, and they hid a lot of the bad side effects and people getting addicted to it from the public, they have actually pleaded guilty in the States. Canadian prosecutors are actually kind of happy because they're hoping that they will also plead guilty here in Canada, because it will greatly reduce the amount of court time it takes for them to be held accountable for what they did. We'll be back at 11:30 with Justin Trudeau, 1 o'clock with Doug Ford. Have a fantastic morning.
See you later.